Hey, this is Kiana and it's 2018 and I just want to say welcome to 2018. Welcome to Live in Abundance blog, and this year is a new year for me, specifically with my blog. I am planning to make so many changes. Specifically, there will be more audio, video, and there will be fewer blog posts, okay? Well, fewer written blog posts. So I hope this will be more entertaining and engaging for people. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about was first relationships, because my blog is a topical blog and I tend to talk about relationships, food, beauty, and faith. So relationships for me, it's everything. Like, all of our relationships define our lives. So we have relationships like within our home. We have relationships with people at work, our work relationships with our, management, our subordinates if we have them, co-workers. You have your relationships with people at church. You have your relationships. Relationships are just everything. That's our entire existence, our relationships, which is why I spend a lot of time talking about it and blogging about it. And I think that people tend to only view relationships as like a romantic relationship, and we kind of exclude the fact that we have a relationship with our faith, we have a relationship with our food. Like, relationships, it is everything. I mean, there are different types of relationships, however they are relationships. So in 2018, this is what I would say to anyone who's debating whether or not they should cancel a relationship. Cancel the relationship. Listen to me. Cancel the relationship. End the relationship however you want to word it. End it. Let it go. Move on. We don't have much time on this earth. I mean, for real. So you can't afford to be boggled down in all of these dead relationships where there's so much baggage and they're toxic relationships. Some people are too exhausting. It's too exhausting to be friends with them. I mean, there's not really anything bad you can say. It's just that, good Lord, you are just an exhausting friend. You can't determine like what kind of moods they're in. I mean, it's just exhausting. I don't know if you really like me or we frenemies or we friends. Just to let it go. And another thing is, when people want to leave your life, let them go. Please do not fight for people to stay in your life. Please do not fight for people to stay in your life. Please do not expect a person to all of a sudden wake up and realize that you are the best thing to ever happen to them, that you are the nicest person, the sweetest person, that you are honorable, that you are honest. Stop looking for other people to, first off, validate you, and secondly, to just appreciate you and your worth. Just let them go. Stop it. Stop torturing yourselves. I hear so many people that are complaining about these relationships that they have, and I am so good to him, or I am so good to her. Stop it. If they leave, let them go. You don't have to follow people around town and social media. I don't know. Just let it go. So, and then the second part of relationships is, like, your role doesn't change. Like, you are still the coworker or the manager or the boss or, the owner. You are still the mother, the wife, the husband, the spouse, whatever. You are still the patient. You are still the musician. Like, the roles never change. However, you may have, the roles within the relationship. However, sometimes, again, the relationship just kind of the dynamics of the relationship just have to change. So yeah, I just want people to understand what I mean about that. So again, your role doesn't change necessarily unless, you start out being the employee and now you're the manager. Either way, you're still an employee of someone's company. So, but yeah, my point is, the roles, generally speaking, they don't necessarily change, but the relationships should change, and they should change for the better. And we need to be open to changes and some relationships thrive when you're with certain people. Your relationships thrive and you encourage each other, and you want to have more relationships like that. And then you see people who have been together for like 10 years and they are so miserable, and the relationship is really dead. It's deflated. It's like it's gone. It's really just two people functioning together. It's crazy. Because they can't relate. So I want to know what people think about what I'm saying as far as relationships, because I don't want to sound depressing about it. I just want people to kind of pay more attention to like people that they have in their circles, and I want people to kind of evaluate the relationships that they may have even at work or in the family, with cousins and aunts and your mother. Maybe someone jumps and runs and is always available for their mother, but then their spouse, it's almost like pulling teeth to get them to be a part of something that their spouse has going on. So that's something else you would have to consider. And now, food, your relationship with food. We live in a society where, food is now garbage. We started out with farming, and I think we need to go back to farming, really, honestly. I just think that, we live in this instant, give it to me now, fast food. And it's not that I don't eat fast food or eat out at restaurants. It's just that I try to make more educated choices when I go places to eat. I try to be more careful about what I'm eating, if it's worth putting it in my body. I look at food. It is enjoyable. It brings people together. But I also try to see it as fuel for the body. And I'm learning that it doesn't always have to be the best tasting, most flavorful piece of chicken, or whatever. It matters more now to me whether I'm getting the right nutrients, Excuse me while I sip on my tea. I really like tea. I actually tend to drink it a lot during the winter months, so it's pretty cold here in St. Louis, Missouri. But anyway, food, again, we started out human civilization as farmers, and I think we need to get back to farming, and stay away from all these steroids and hormones and genetic modification. And a lot of people are now vegan. And last weekend, I was actually talking with a friend of mine, Brandy, who you will get a chance to meet later in another post. But she just mentioned how family members now are vegan. Her family members are vegan. They come to family functions and they complain about the food that's being served. And her argument is just bring your own food. And I totally agree. Why come to a family function? People primarily eat pork, and then you stand in the corner and you complain about the food and how you don't like it and you don't eat it. It's not healthy. And it sounds so pretentious. So you should just bring your own meal. Maybe you can educate someone else. Maybe you can introduce it to someone else. It just doesn't make sense to me for you to come to a function just to complain about why there's not anything available for you. Bring your own meal. Allow people to try your meal. Educate them on your decision instead of just complaining about how ridiculous it is that we're still eating red meat because I like it. Okay? But anyway, so you just have to kind of change the relationship with food as well. That's just something I wanted to point out. So relationships with people, relationship with food, and now relationship with faith. That's the third part of this post today. Okay, so faith doesn't change, right? If you are Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, like whatever you believe, whatever your philosophy is, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your religion is, your faith, however you choose to word it, that does not change, right? So if you passed away, tonight, in 50 years, the concept of Christianity will not change. Like, the Bible should not change. It will remain the same, right? So that doesn't change. However, your relationship with your faith should change, because it should grow. It should be extended to other people. So that is something I also wanted to just talk about briefly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that, but I just wanted to say again, relationships affect every part of your life, including your relationships with family, friends, co-workers, okay, with people. It affects your relationship with food. When you start to change your mind and see food as purposeful, and make it less about just self-indulgence. And for me, my problem with food is the sugars, the sweets, the baked goods. And a few months ago, I actually blogged about probiotics and the 5 benefits of probiotics, and how probiotics has helped me get control over my cravings for sweets. And I do agree, it's true. It's helped a lot, but I still have to make a conscious decision to, I still have to make a conscious decision to not eat sweets, or to fight against it, because it's still a desire that I have, because I've lived this way for so long, where you get a dessert, or you go buy a candy bar at work or whatever. It's just, I've been in this relationship for so long with sugars, and I'm now more woke, okay? When it comes to sugars and refined sugars and corn syrup and all of those things, all of these other words that are used in our foods that are all sugars. So now food choices, it's a lot easier for me to eat, whole grains, and have my daily amount of fruit and vegetables and dairy. That's a lot easier for me, because it actually makes sense to me. And yeah, relationships affect every area of our life. And I think the most complicated relationships are the ones that we have with people, because they can affect our faith and our eating habits. So I just want to say, I'll talk to you soon. Until next time.